Hey guys, I'm going to show you guys how to create a simple footprint chart, and then we are going to add a trading DOM on top of it and style it a little bit just so it looks pretty nice. So I'm going to do everything step by step. So the first thing we're going to do is open a new chart books and then open a new intraday chart. And for this, I'm going to do ES since I don't actually like looking at the footprint on NQ. Roll it over to the current contract. So here we go. So by default, I have it like this. So the candlestick's not going to matter. I'm going to change the styling a little bit here. So I'm going to do this so it's not on global settings. And then I'm going to change all the chart text to a lighter gray, along with the scale border here, so that it all matches up. So now we can see that over here. And I'm going to change the font here to 10 because I like it a little bit smaller. Usually can show more numbers. Same with the DOM quantity size. Since we are going to add the trading DOM, we want to have that be the same font size. And when you add a trading DOM, what you'll realize is the price numbers are actually controlled by the chart text and not the trading DOM. Even if you're using a DOM standalone and not just the chart DOM, it's the same thing. So you're gonna have to change both of those settings so that both of the fonts will change. And so right now I'm gonna start off with the footprint. So the numbers bars, so we're gonna right click, go to studies, go to numbers bars. Here, I'm gonna add that. And I'm going to do a ask volume or bid volume by ask volume, and then a delta for the second column. So the first column right here, we're going to change this to ask volume or bid volume ask volume. And for the background, I'm just going to have it be transparent, just show the numbers. So full background, and then here on the background coloring method, change that to none transparent. So that's just going to change it to just numbers. And first off, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change the text coloring method here to this first long one based on dominant ask volume, bid volume, to volume at price percentage. And what we're going to do is come down here and switch this use separate colors for text coloring method to yes. And I'm essentially just going to wipe out all the rest of this middle part. So everything in the middle is just going to be white. So it's really only going to color the more extreme number differences. So I'm just going to white out all of those so they're the same text color. And I'm going to change this to blue here, this really light blue. And while we're down here, I'm going to change this. All right, let's see. I'm going to change this volume profile bars length relative to all visible bars. So this makes it so if there is a super huge delta or a super huge anything, it will show big and it'll be relative to everything else. So it's not, everything else isn't looking the same, even if it's a lot smaller. That just makes things look pretty nice. And then I'm going to change this font size mode to automatic with minimum and maximum limits and switch this to 8. So it's just locked at 8. So it's the same as our font for everything else. And I'm going to add 2 spaces here. So there's 2 spaces between, and then I'm going to put a darker blue here and a darker red here. And this is for the current traded price. So I'm going to change the bold highlight last trade price to bold and highlight, so then we can kind of easily see where we are transacting at. And single text value alignment, I'm gonna put center, and this will matter once we put the delta on there. And then the open close marker, I'm just going to put it as a gray, like this. And then it usually is by default width of 2, and I don't like that as much. We're going to change the open to column 1, second one to column 1, and we want it to not be the arrow on price. I like it to be the candlestick body outline. You can do the candle outline, but you can already see where the high and low are pretty easily. So I'm going to show you what it looks like right now. And let's change it to a 5-minute, just so I can see it how I normally would look at it. And then we'll go back in and switch up things a little bit. Okay, so far this is what we've got. And what I'm going to do is we're going to add a delta on the right side, and I'm going to make the thickness of this to 1 and not to 2. I think it just looks cleaner. So we're going to go in here and scroll kind of more towards the bottom, right above where we had the text color. You can see the candlestick outline width. It's a little bit separate, so I'm going to switch that to 1. And now I'm going to go here to our second column. So right here, column number 2, and I'm going to put AskVol bid-vol difference so we can get the delta. And then the background, we're going to want it to be a ask bid difference profile. And then the background coloring method, we are going to do based on AskVol bid-vol difference actual. And then the text coloring method, I'm going to leave it blank for now, and then we're going to switch it also to AskVol bid-vol difference. And then this way it's coloring the same as the down here with our these colors. So it's only coloring really the extremes in the delta essentially. So go back here. Let's see what else we want to add, if anything. I'm gonna hit apply OK. Kind of zoom out to kind of get a full look of what this would look like. And we're going to change this green to blue, and we're gonna make the green to a blue, and this red we're gonna make all one color. So as you can see right now, it's a gradient here, kind of like what we have right here, but I'm just going to change it all to this blue right here. Same thing with the red. I'm just gonna put it all at this 128.00, because we don't really need a gradient since we can already see based on just the size of the bar. And so we're gonna add that, and that makes the numbers here a lot more visible. And something I like to do now is I like to have lines in between each bar, like some grid lines. So what I'm gonna do is go here to chart and then put vertical grid. As you can see, nothing really showed, so we're gonna go to chart settings, put this over here so you can see it, and then we're gonna go to grid, and we are going to switch this to bars. So it's gonna show per every 1 bar. There you go, right there. So now we have that separator between every single bar. You don't really have to have this. I kind of just like to have it visually. And I am going to switch this. You can switch it to whatever time frame time zone you're in. I'll switch it to this since this is my time zone. And then once we have this done, I'm going to add a current price line. So we can do here studies and then current price line here. When we hit apply, you can see it goes backwards, and I like it to just forward project. You can have it forward project and backwards project, so you can see kind of where we are relative to previous price action, which I find nice sometimes. But for this, I'm just going to forward project the current price line here, switch this to yes, and then the this part, this is the display current price online on chart bars, we're going to switch to no. That's going to remove this left half right there. There you go. And so I'm going to change this subgraph. Let's change this color to white. Remove all the display settings so it's not showing up here at the top, as we don't really need those numbers. This kind of gives us an extra thing so we know where we are, other than the bolding and highlighting from when we are moving. So I'm going to turn on replay just so you can kind of see what this looks like in action. So you can see here, and we got this. And now the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to add a trading DOM on the chart. So instead of this being a separate DOM, we're going to add this DOM on the chart. And so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go up here to trade and then go to trading chart DOM on. So by default, this just adds this trading DOM, and we're not going to be able to see full depth for right now. So kind of just ignore that. So we're going to go here to trade, go to customize chart, trade DOM columns. And so here we can kind of customize what we want to see. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to add the current or the recent bid volume, as we're going to be able to see that on the footprint, and I don't want to jumble this up too much. Just kind of want to make it simple. But I am going to add the current traded bid volume and the current traded ask volume, and make the ask volume below so it's on the right side. And the ask volume I want to show bars on the left, and the bid volume I want to show bars on the right. So you can see here, and then below it's showing the total volume. There you go. So we're going to want to switch up this coloring, because by default it doesn't look super great. So on the bid also I'm going to right align the volume bars, and on the ask we're going to left align the volume bars there. So once we have full depth, it'll show those a lot more. So hit apply, hit OK. That's kind of the default settings we're going to want here. And now we're going to go in and switch up the coloring, as I don't really like this coloring here. So we're going to go to chart, graphic settings here, and we are going to go down once you start seeing chart DOM. Okay. So first thing we're going to change is these separator lines, or actually not these ones, sorry. The by column lines right here. So this is these green lines. We're going to switch this to light blue. And so for most of these things, we're going to want like 3 colors, almost like a gradient. So for these lines, I like to have them the lightest of the blue, since we're going to do blue instead of green. And then for the by column background, you can see that's this. And we're going to want this to be a darker blue. So I'm going to choose this blue right here. There you go. And then we're going to do the same thing over here, and then we're going to fix the volume bars and the quantity text. So for the cell column lines, we're going to do a light red, or kind of there's like a pinkish color here. And then the background, I'm going to choose this, the 12800 red color, and click enable. Or let's see. Oh, I'm on the wrong part. Unenable that. This right here. gonna do that as a bar. And then we'll want to fix up the volume bars. So I'm gonna go down here to the kind of the bottom area. It's usually like the smallest one, so this bid volume bar, that's what the red was over here. We're going to want this to be a darker blue. I'm going to choose this, see how it looks. That looks pretty good. And then the ask volume bar, we're going to also try a darker red. There you go there. And we're going to go up and change the quantity. So the, let's see right here, the ask depth quantity right here, that's that color over there. And I'm going to do a super light red, kind of like what we have for the border. And then the bid depth quantity, I'm going to do the super light blue like we have for this border. And so then you can see it kind of shows clearly within those. The ask depth, did I change the wrong one again? Let's see. So the ask depth, we want to be that super light. I think I might have just not applied it. So there we go. So that creates a good look there. And then we are going to go and switch these. So I'm going to go down to current, when you can see current traded volume. So these will be so the current traded bid volume and the ask volume. These are the numbers, as you can see here. So the bid volume, I am going to do as the light red again. And then the ask volume, I'm going to do as the super light blue. So we got that. And now we're going to create the volume bars. So we're going to find current, let's see if it's, let's see down. So the current traded volume bar. So this is for the bid side. So we're going to do darker red. We got that. And then the ask side, we're going to do a darker blue here. There we go. And so now we have the current traded, ask, and bid volume. We have here the buy and the sell columns. And just a little thing, I'm going to change this to the light blue as well, so it's not green. But you don't really have to do that if you're not OCD. So the, let's see, up here where it says buy order quantity text, that is that right there. And we're going to change that to the light blue. There you go. And now that we have that done, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when we put on a position. So like that, kind of get a position on. And I am going to add the trade window just for now so we can see. And I'm going to add a bracket. So I'm going to change the styling a little bit for the bracket so that it doesn't show across the whole screen since we have the DOM over here. So I'm going to buy right here. Let's see if we can get filled. There we go. So we got filled, and you can see we have these bars showing across the whole chart when we can really see the numbers over here, and we don't really want to have this coming across the whole chart in my opinion. So we're going to go to chart settings and then go to trading here. And what we're going to want to do is I like to have attach the trade window on the right side. So to this third one, I'm going to switch this to yes, hit apply. That switches this to this side. And then I want to align the trade drawings text to the right side. So where we entered the position, now it will show all the way over here. And then I think I changed this in the global settings, so I'm gonna have to show you, but so we have a connecting order between the OCO bracket, which is just nice kind of visual way to see that is, I believe we go to the global settings and the general trade settings here. Let's see if this is right. General settings, chart DOM settings. Okay, chart DOM settings. See if I can remember this correctly. Okay, global settings, and then we go to chart trade settings here. I think I just missed it. So we do order association lines. So if you switch this to no, you can see there's no connecting line, but I think it looks really good, and it kind of gives a good visual where you can see the connecting line between the bracket. So this is the stop and then the target. So one will cancel the other OCO bracket. So that's pretty much it. You can obviously add more columns, but for the time being, I like this layout where we have the footprint, but we also have somewhere where we can enter on the chart and not as a separate DOM. So I just think this looks really nice, and that is pretty much it for this tutorial. So that's how you create a footprint chart with a chart DOM where we can buy and sell, and then we have the current traded bid volume and ask volume.